There's frost outside.
GeekChick,
It's
thank
cold
you for
here,
joining
too.
us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
There we go.
It's breaking into the awkward small chat before like anything
The small
else.
chat.
Yeah.
The tiny chat.
I'm trying to relate to our viewer base who might also be in Seattle.
Who might also be cold.
Yeah.
I'm only one state over from you guys, also freezing.
Yeah, you're
and our
really
heat's
close.
broken in our house.
Oh, that might
no.
have something to do with why you're sick.
Probably. Probably a little bit.
So Geek, thank you so much for coming on. I know like you and I have been, I don't know, I tried to think back of when we first reached out and you're like, hey, let's, you should come on the podcast. And you're like, yeah, let's do it. And for one reason or another, things fell through. But we were trying to think back. It was, Tefty, you thought it was back in like
It was definitely in like.
I definitely remember last year for sure.
Yeah.
And the first time might have been.
I think it was around Taken King. Yeah. Yep.
We were starting to get like a, feeling some sort of way about it, like
I was feeling sort of way. I was like, oh no. I was like, I'm totally going to be on the blacklist.
No, it's
you don't want to be the infamous DCP blacklist.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Sitting over there with his Edge Transit and Born.
Don't talk about my Edge Transit.
Don't talk that way about Edge Transit.
How dare you,
Geek, a lot of stuff has happened, like a lot of members of the Destiny community.
Yes.
You took a different path away from Destiny and you started becoming more of a variety streamer. What's been keeping you busy since these last year or so?
I mean, to no surprise, mostly Fortnite.
Yeah.
But I think that was because, the reason why I started streaming a lot of Fortnite, I think is because at the time we were kind of in like a video game drought of sorts, and there wasn't really a lot of stuff coming out when Fortnite started getting really popular.
It's basically how Destiny got popular. There was like nothing.
Yeah, so it's one of those like weird, like the stars align, and it's like this game is just going to be huge now. So Fortnite for sure, but now a lot of like single player games are coming out, like Pokemon, and like I'm looking forward to Anthem. And I played God of War, and I played like the Crash remake and the Spyro remake, and I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts.
So it's not like if we were to tune into your channel on Mixer or Facebook, we would find not just competitive games, but you're playing story driven games. You're playing. What's your favorite? What do you think is your favorite genre to play?
I mean, I love I started playing games with RPGs, like JRPGs specifically. So that's what I love to play. I mean, they're hard to stream because you have to keep the action going and like you kind of have to remember that you're streaming to an audience and like you just can't sit there and like immerse yourself in the story completely. But I love like going on adventures with chat and with the community and like playing a game from start to finish, like God of War.
That's cool. Start to finish, huh? Did you play?
Well, sometimes.
Don't do it.
Did you
Don't do it.
Play?
No. Don't do it, Pope.
All right. So we're going to talk about other games. We're definitely not going to, Briar, we're not going to cover anything. What other games, like long story driven games that you've played? Has there been
anything The Witcher 2?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
did you play Witcher?
I played The Witcher 3.
The Witcher 3.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What about
That's the best game ever made.
Whoa, I've never heard about this game. Best game ever? What?
Yeah,
I
it's
played
like
it.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but like twice as good.
One thing I could say is that I really lived out my male fantasies in that game. Like if I was a boy.
I've been meaning to ask like female streamers, like, is it awkward playing as because it gets pretty raunchy at times, right?
That game gets super raunchy. And like you could just get it, you could be as raunchy as you want. You could be not raunchy, or you could be like super raunchy. I went the super raunchy route because it was like the most
Wait,
fun.
is this Witcher or Pokemon?
Yeah. Those Pokemon dungeons, man. They get dark in there. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I found a lot of sand dicks.
A lot of latex.
I found a lot of sand dicks in the Pokemon dungeons. I was like, whoa. I don't know about this.
Those trainer battles, they start off like weird sometimes.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of ball
So you're
chugging.
okay.
There is.
Okay. Tefty, that's enough. No more talk about ball.
Then you don't talk about Witcher 3, all right? You stop it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Have you played Destiny? Because it's all about balls. Like literally from Forsaken launching, it's just throw balls, shoot balls,
pick up
capture
balls.
Yeah.
Avoid the balls.
It's all balls.
Avoid
Pass balls to one another.
Yeah.
It's all balls.
That's a good point. Huh.
Just
I
wait
never
until
thought
the
of it
raids
that
are. I
way.
bet it's all. We're gonna be throwing balls on.
You're always
sparrows
whipping
or
out a
something.
ball to scan things.
So GeekChick, you moved from Twitch. You moved from Twitch to Mixer, then to Facebook, right?
To Facebook,
No.
then to Mixer.
Oh, my bad. So
Yeah.
can you talk about that transition a little bit? Because that's really interesting, I think, to a lot of
It is.
people.
Yeah, I mean, it was terrifying. It was one of those things where it all kind of happened at the right time. Where, you know, in April, if you would have asked me, like, would you ever switch platforms? I would have said no way. But then, like, a couple of things happened. And, you know, I was approached by Facebook and they, you know, I talked to them and they were very friendly and they were very, like, they explained everything to a T. And I was like, you know what? I was like, when in the content creation world does like the opportunity to start something from the ground up come along? Like not very often anymore, because we've kind of in a world where like everything's pretty much fully developed at this point. So I was like, Facebook, obviously a huge company, not super popular with like the younger crowd anymore, kind of memey, but like they seem like they kind of want to make something really cool with like Facebook gaming. So I was like, why not? Super risky, but like you don't really get anywhere without a risk. I was like, streaming full time was a risky decision, but it paid off. So I was like, why not take like another risk? And then with the Mixer thing, it was kind of more so like I sign up to have myself out there, my name, whatever I want to put out there, I sign up for it. I'm the streamer. But for chat, like they don't really sign up to have like all their information out there for everyone to see. So I could understand why some people were like, I don't really want my whole name in the chat. I don't want people to see where I work or my family members or anything like that.
Was there a lot of pushback about that?
There was, and I understood it. I was like, look, that's not what you guys signed up for. You guys signed up to chill, watch people play video games, talk, whatever the case may be. So I decided to make a Mixer channel for those people to kind of come and hang out who either don't have a Facebook, don't like Facebook, or kind of just want to have that anonymity factor to their
anonymity.
So you're dual broadcasting to both Facebook and Mixer at the same time?
No, so you're not allowed to do that.
Okay.
You are allowed to stream on both platforms, just it has to be separate. So I don't do any Fortnite on Mixer. That is one thing that I wanted to like keep completely separate. And Mixer is kind of more of my Destiny home, and it's where I will stream like any indie games that I'm interested in or any like single player games that I'm interested in. And I kind of focus on more of the multiplayer aspect on Facebook, which is kind of nice to like, you know, separate the audiences that way.
And you felt that at both platforms you've been welcomed and supportive of other streamers that are also in that community?
Yeah, I mean with Facebook, like I'm still kind of like meeting Mixer people and kind of becoming friends with them. I obviously know Kevin and Angry Iceberg and a couple of people in like the Destiny community on there. With Facebook, it was kind of like, hey, we all kind of jump shipped like together. So we all gonna befriend each other, because now we're kind of seen as outsiders, and we're kind of seen as like, oh my god, like why would they ever like leave something they work so hard to make on Twitch or YouTube? Some people came from YouTube, and you know, we kind of all befriended each other super quickly because of that.
It's interesting how these platforms they require you or lock you into streaming on their platform, right?
Yeah.
And not being able to co-stream. I wonder if what that has to look like, where a streamer can choose to push out their stream to multiple, you know, locations. I guess you would have to stop taking money from them, right?
Yeah,
or
you would
stop
basically have to
advertising.
stop. You probably wouldn't be able to be partnered on any of those platforms.
So I guess the only reason why I'm looking at it like that is because you guys kind of laugh at like that scenario, but I
don't think that's true for YouTube, right? YouTube, I believe you can.
Yeah, I think YouTube's the least strict.
Right.
Yeah, I think you could, like, for instance, co-stream as long as you weren't partnered on Twitch. You could just co-stream on Twitch and YouTube, and YouTube wouldn't have any problem with it if you were a YouTube partner.
Interesting.
I
feel like YouTube would have problems.
I know, right? Of all the companies,
I know.
All the companies.
There's an interesting thing that goes with like Spotify and on with our podcast, for example, you know, you put up a song on Spotify and they'll monetize it and they'll pay you for every listen for your song. But we put up our podcast on Spotify and they don't monetize it, right? They won't pay us for listens of it. So the model there is assuming that we're selling ads, right? So I wonder if there's another model for streamers where they have ad companies that produce the revenue through their own selling of their own ads. And then you have the freedom to stream wherever you want.
I think eventually that's what's going to happen, even for Twitch. I feel like eventually Twitch will allow people to stream wherever they want. If they want to be on Twitch, if they want to be somewhere else, that's fine. Because what I found is like when I first started on Twitch, like 4 years ago almost, people were like, when I was like, I'm a streamer, people were like, I have no idea what that is. And now people actually do know what that is. So I feel like it's becoming more popular as a niche, you know, career even.
Well, it's really great to have you on the podcast. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in Destiny. How have you been enjoying Forsaken?
I've been loving it. I have such an emotional attachment to Destiny because I see it as responsible for like my career sort of as a content creator. So, you know, I jumped into Forsaken like head first. I loved it to pieces. I got like super emotional about Cade, like a big baby. And you know, I've just been really enjoying like doing PvP again. And like even though I'm not like a super PvE person, I think the PvE team is just like nailing it, and everything that they come out with is just like super interesting and like makes me want to do all the activities. Whereas usually I would just like load into Crucible for hours. Now I actually want to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Favorite subclass? Favorite, you know, obviously it's a Titan, but what's your favorite subclass within it?
Definitely not. You know, I was like forced to make a Titan as I was in Destiny 1. In Destiny 1, I didn't have a Titan like for the longest time. But I'm definitely more of like a Voidlock still to the very end.
Warlock.
Wow.
I'm one of those people. Yeah, but Warlock tattoo, remember?
Oh, yikes.
What's that?
What was that?
Yeah. About that. We love Warlocks
I'll always
here.
be a Warlock.